Alors, expliquez-nous maintenant.
Now tell us two things. Why did you create these awards? It's the first time, but not the last. This is something that will be lasting. And why the guest speaker? Well, first of all, the awards. For 30 years now, we've been meeting extraordinary companies, carrying out projects, one after the other, that are different from others. Projects in performance. But we don't feel it. We don't see them appear regularly. What we wanted to look at tonight was to highlight them, to prove that they exist. And therefore, we have identified, based on, let's say, some 40 projects, some projects that really impressed us. These projects are not necessarily Ayming's clients, or either directly or indirectly, but these are companies that manage projects that impressed us and that we wanted to present to a jury. We didn't ask them to categorize them one after the other. It's not a ranking of performance. It's rather an emotion, the notion of emotion that we asked them to express, to prove to you, to tell us why this project was great and deserved to obtain an award. So a series of emotions during the Business Performance Awards. At the outset, there were 40. 12 were selected, the cream of the cream, and those who receive an award are those, of course, who hit your mind and your heart. Yes, emotions. Tell us, why this guest speaker, Jeremy Rifkin? He's a great economist who has a vision of the future, of the future economy. And you saw in the film that there are three key areas where we are truly convinced when it comes to Ayming. We believe that performance must be analyzed in three areas. The first area is that of securing. Secondly, accelerating. And thirdly, anticipating. I'm sure you have understood. Anticipating. That's exactly what Jeremy Rifkin focuses on. I'd like to thank him for agreeing to come and speak to us tonight. We wanted to give a real gift to our partners and clients and to our guests tonight, and to be able to show how we can help our companies to adjust to all the changes that we see every day. And this is the gift we wanted to offer to all our friends tonight. With an amazing speech at around 8:15, 8:30, Jeremy Rifkin. In the meantime, stay with us, Servais, because it's not over yet. Quite the opposite. The ceremony will begin in just a few moments with its chairman, the chairman of the jury, a national mediator for companies as well, Pierre Pelouzet. Please join us. Pierre Pelouzet. So Pierre Pelouzet, he has a lot of work on his hands right now. When he came in about 5 years ago at the head of this wonderful company, there are about 100 cases to be dealt with each year. And now you have about 100 cases per month, you said. Well, this is the mic that works. I'm glad you tried it out before me. So now I have the mic that works. I'm happy. Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, really. Dear Patrick, as you said, I spent a lot of time with companies. I see the best, and I also see the more complicated ones. Very often when they call on a mediator, it's more for complicated matters. Late payment of bills, discontinuance of contracts, expropriation of intellectual property, and so on. So we manage all these areas day in, day out, while trying to recreate a link, trust, dialogue, so that people speak together to solve all these matters. Luckily, the mediator is there to highlight the things that work well, the wonderful things, because in all the companies I see, I can tell you that you have extraordinary things in our companies and considerable energy. This is why I was delighted to accept this role as the president of the jury. That gave me two wonderful opportunities. First of all, to work with a jury that was really first class. I can say that about the jury, honestly. We had some wonderful discussions. The names are displayed. A really high-class jury. And all the cases were really fabulous. We can see all the wealth of our country, the ability to create, to innovate, to ask ourselves questions, to find different answers. And as you said, Hervé, in many different areas, HR, the economy, social areas, environmental, marketing, creativity, R&D. We've seen all of this, and we're very proud and delighted to present all of this to you tonight. And this is why I'm delighted to declare open the first ceremony for the Business Performance Awards.
Alors, Pierre Pelouzet, nous allons découvrir
Okay, Pierre Pelouzet. Together, we are going to discover, I guess you're not because you've seen them, but we are going to discover in alphabetical order who these companies are, and hopefully they will be displayed on the slide. Starting off with Alliance, which is offering an alternative approach in managerial work. Buffalo Grill, digital serving customer relations. Elsevier Masson, Clinical Key, digital transformation serving scientific publishing. Rocher Company, HR Performance, serving the transformation of corporate transformation. GE with Predix, the business model of an industrial app store. Nomad Hotel, the fundamental and codes of hotel industry. Orange, digital leadership inside. They are right here, the digital training serving the strategic corporate project. Ramsey, General de Santé, the performance in emergency. Saxo Bank, the standing desk serving managerial efficiency with a focus on quality of work. SEB, 3D printing to deal with programmed obsolescence. And last but not least, Sodexo, the supply chain inclusion program, engaging in favor of SMEs by encouraging diversity, inclusion, and women. So this was in alphabetical order, as I said. We're now going to start the award ceremony. It's not in any form of order of priority. We're really going to follow the position and of the jury. So the first one will be in HR. Let's call Dominique Thoman. Could we have a zoom on the award, since this is the first event ever? This is what the awards look like, and who is it going to? Well, it is going to Alliance. And Sophie Grushka, who is the head of strategy and innovative projects, will be joining us on stage to collect this first award. That's the way we are at Alliance. Of course, well, that's why you're winning. We have a big heart. I know hackathons. I'd never heard about innovatons. Is that something you invented? It is. It's one of our specialties. Before I continue, let me just say thank you, first of all. This is a great honor. I think this rewards a lot of work and many of our values. What is an innovaton? An innovaton shows that we are convinced that innovation is not the business of just a happy few. We are absolutely convinced at Alliance that to grow a company like ours, we need innovation. And innovation is everyone's business. You just gave the image of hackathon. Well, it's very similar. And Innovaton is an innovation marathon where we bring startups customers and employees together. No matter where you rank in the company, no matter what your position is, you are welcome to attend this event. And I think this is maybe the most important thing. It's for everybody. We're trying to reach out to as many people as possible. And eventually, if the projects are good, we can invest up to 100,000 euros and we get the full support of our top management, including the CEO, to actually carry out and materialize some of these projects. Earlier on, you talked about emotion. You said that performance is not just an economic equation. Well, you're absolutely right. Well, thank you very much, Anne-Sophie Grushka. And please join your seat with Dominic. And let's move on to the second award. The second award. And again, it's not better or less good as the previous one. It's again, this was a very special award. Let me call Jean-Baptiste Hubert, who is with Ayming, who is with finance and innovation. Jean-Baptiste Hubert. There he is with his award, which is going to Vincent Champin, who is who will be coming on stage to collect this award, which is going to GE, General Electric. GE Digital. Congratulations. No hugs, no kissing this time. So why GE, and why did you develop this industrial internet platform? Well, first of all, let me thank you for this award. I would like to thank all the GE Digital teams as well. I think this award is going to them first and foremost. It's the result of their hard work. So why this platform? Well, three reasons. First of all, we realized that the industrial internet was going to massively change the way we do our business. And I think that Jeremy Rifkin will touch upon this in his talk. We are absolutely convinced that Internet of Things will be so much bigger than Internet we use every day, twice the size. The Internet of compressors, aircraft engines will be 2 times bigger, and it has a huge potential. First of all, a potential of improvement. 1% efficiency for an engine aircraft means millions and billions of savings for airlines. Modernization as well. If you go to a plant, an industrial plant today, you'll see that the software we're using are far from being simple and easy to use, nothing like an iPhone. And we think that there are a lot of agile technologies, cloud-based technologies that can better serve industrial companies today. And you've decided to go for an open environment. Absolutely. We consider that industrial big data is like looking for a needle in a haystack or a data stack. And those who will win, eventually win the race, are not those who lock up and put all their secrets in a vault. It's those who can work within a living ecosystem, and those who can accept that the value of the platform can be used by other companies, SMEs, who will be their users. And to do this, we're looking at developing an ecosystem with academics, scientists, and other experts. And they all have their own methodology to look for that needle in the data stack to improve their own performance. Right, so innovation and growth are possible together. Absolutely, that's what we're betting on in France. Oftentimes you hear about France, Europe, people who say there is so much potential in this country, but it's not, the French are not really developing or delivering. Well, I think we are showing that it is possible. Well, thank you very much indeed.
Et je vous laisse regagner avec
And please have a seat. Let's move on to the third award.
On fait la bise à certains, pas à d'autres, et puis on met les trophées à certains et des awards aux autres.
Trophies or award, you call them the way you want. This is an interesting one. Patrick Robert, who is the head of SNCF Gare and Connections, whom I know quite well. Hello. Hello, Patrick. Good evening. This gentleman has exceptional things to say about the transformation of train stations in the future, but he will do it off mic. But it is quite fascinating. Very exciting to hear when he talks what the future has in store for us. So this third award is going to SEB company. Let me call Alain Potreau, who is the head of after sales and customer relations at SEB. Congratulations. Well, I think this is a subject that is of interest to all consumers, and this is really why you awarded it. We call it programmed obsolescence. When people realized about this, realized that sometimes companies make objects with a programmed life. Now everybody knows, but that was not the case at the beginning. So you're using 3D printing to go against programmed obsolescence. How did it occur to you? Well, first of all, let me thank Mr. Amar, who came to us. It's a concept we've actually not communicated much about, so thank you very much for having us, and thank you very much for awarding us this evening. It all started before the idea of programmed obsolescence emerged in the media. It really started about 8 years ago. All brands of small home appliances, we were a leader, one of the big leaders in the world, and a lot of the products we make and made were disposable products, and we realized that that was not consistent with our view of the future. So instead of just being an innovation company, we wanted to become a more sustainable company, making sustainable products that you can actually keep for much longer. So we've developed a program that allows it to disassemble, reassemble, fix, mend your products instead of just throwing them away. And in the past, people didn't really know you could repair them, so they threw them away. So we've just launched a major communication campaign that the tagline is, "Our products are repairable 10 years," and it will be rolled out worldwide very soon. 10 years, which means that when we sell a product, that means that 10 or 15 years after, we still need spare parts to fix them. So we're storing, obviously, we're stocking up, we're piling up millions of spare parts for the future, and we're actually trying to calculate what we can do and what parts we may need 10 years down the road. If the part is missing, we can replace it. And having parts 10 years from now, it's not about selling and being profitable thanks to spare parts. It's simply to allow our consumers to keep the appliances they buy. So it was a difficult equation. Knowing what parts you will need on a bread toaster 10 years from now is difficult, and you're very likely to be wrong. And then how many do you need? So with 3D printing, we decided to engage in a project. Instead of stocking parts for 10 years or 5 years, we said, okay, let's do it for 4 years, 5 years. That way, if we make a mistake, it's not a big mistake. And that way we can print. We can print the ones we need as we go. So printing is the easy part, but what's really difficult is the process. It's to actually qualify the different parts. Today, that's what we're doing today. We're in the middle of the qualification. Next month, we're actually starting repairs with the first printed parts. And eventually, this project will really get off the ground in 2017. In 2018, we're hoping to have printers around the world in our facilities. And who knows, in the future, people will be able to print closer to their home as well. So it's an interesting technology which allows you to keep your appliances for longer. And it's very much a sustainable development project for the company. And it's a great way also to make your customers more loyal. And we're a European company. Very fascinating. So today, April the 19th, 2016. So on April the 19th, 2026, we'll check in with you to see if you told us the truth. Okay, thank you very much again. Moving on to our fourth award for this evening. And again, I'd like to call it Deputy Director of Ayming responsible for operations, Romain Domont. Would you please join us on stage?
Bonjour.
Good evening, sir.
Alors, Romain Domont
Romain Domont.
donner cet award
This award is going to Ramsey General de Santé.
Jean-Marc Courrier.
I would like to ask Jean-Marc Coursier to join us on stage to pick up this award.
Alors, Jean-Marc Courrier, d'abord,
Good evening
je vous félicite.
and congratulations, sir, on behalf of the jury and Hervé Amar. So you had this quite simple idea and yet very revolutionary idea. It's revolutionary for the French medical emergency rooms. There are some big problems. You have decided to develop a system to display waiting times in hospitals and emergency systems. It's a very simple idea. It exists in a number of places, and yet not in emergency rooms. Yes, you're absolutely right. We realized three things. First of all, one of the first reasons why people give up going to an emergency room is because they know they have to wait too long. The waiting times are forever. It's the number one reason why people go home or never show up. Second, private hospitals are much better and are much faster at handling patients. That's another thing we found out. And the third thing we realized is that we could make a difference. We decided to focus on emergency rooms first. And so we decided to identify how much time people actually waited between the moment they arrive and then receive medical attention, and then display that time. We decided to display it in front of everybody, which means it's not just in the hospital, but you can go online. There is a webpage, a dedicated webpage, where you can actually visualize how much time you will have to wait in line before you go to the hospital. And we have an app. It's Ramsey General de Santé. It's our app. It contains geolocalization technology, and it will tell you how much time it will take to receive medical attention in a hospital. So, by doing this, we realized that to improve waiting lines, you needed two things. First of all, you need to be very well organized. Waiting times get longer and longer and longer when you're poorly organized. So you need to improve your efficiency in terms of managing patient flows, resource allocation, and so on. And our healthcare practitioners need to improve the way care is provided to patients as well, which was done. So at the end of the day, we've really made this a management tool, a management instrument. When waiting times are displayed everywhere, it becomes a way to monitor things. It becomes a metric, and it has generated a lot of emulation. And today, it is a way to monitor our performance, and we really use it to permanently improve the way we do things. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed. Moving on to the next presentation, let me call upon the chairman of the jury, Pierre Pelouzet. Pierre Pelouzet, you had a special appreciation for this next award. Yes, absolutely. Going to Sodexo. Sodexo is a beautiful company. They had a very interesting story to tell. And I would like to call the VP of Sustainable Development, Neil Barrett, and he is with Jean-Louis Tessin, who is VP Global Supply Management. Would you join me, please?
Bravo. Cheers.
Congratulations. So we have an English speaker and we have a French speaker. So let's start with the French and then we do the English. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Ayming, first of all, for this event and this Beautiful venue. I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the evening, and I would like to thank the jury as well for this special appreciation award. Earlier on I was talking to Sophie from communication, and she was saying everybody knows Sodexo, and I said, are you sure? And then we discussed it with Jeremy Rifkin, and he said, we met a year ago, but what is it you do again? So let me just remind you about Sodexo. Sodexo was created in 1966 by Pierre Bellon in Marseille. So we've just celebrated our 50th anniversary. Right, and his daughter is currently managing the company. That is correct. Sophie Bellon is today the CEO of the company. And the media have told us that Sophie Bellon was the first female CEO in the French CAC 40 companies.
Sophie Bellon est quelqu'un qui attache énormément d'importance à la parité et au développement.
Sophie is a true believer of equality between men and women and in the workplace. And after years of very hard work, I think that about 40% of top management positions and mid-management positions are occupied by women. It's not 50% yet. I tried to look at the audience. On stage right now, it's not good. But I think the same conference 15 years ago, there would have been a lot less women in the room. Anyway, Sophie Bellon is a true believer of diversity, inclusion, and equality between men and women. So Sodexo employs 420,000 people worldwide. We are the #1 private employer in the world, number 19 in the world. 420,000 people who deliver our services in a great number of countries, in hospitals, in offshore platforms, services, and day after day, more quality to improve the quality of life of our customers and the customers of our customers. Why is that? Well, simply because we're convinced that by improving the quality of life of our customers and our employees and the customers of our customers, well, performance will improve. And I think that's what this is all about tonight, performance. So as I said, 420,000 people, a lot of local communities, subcontractors, partners, suppliers, with whom we have very strong commitments and very strong ties. And I'm going to hand over to Neil. He would like to tell us a little bit about the initiative we're being awarded for.
Supply chain inclusion program was developed out of our local community commitment. SMEs are fundamentally important to enhancing our supplier base. They are also important to represent the diversity of the communities where we operate. And our supply chain inclusion program is applicable to all 80 countries that we operate in by 2020. If we go to the next slide. By 2017, as an incremental step towards 2020, we made a commitment at the Clinton Global Initiative. And as a company, we said that by 2017, in the year 2017, we will spend US $1 billion on SMEs with a real focus on women-owned businesses. So at least 1,500 of those SMEs will be businesses that are owned and operated by women. And the figures on the board show our progress to date. So we're halfway there towards our $1 billion objective, up 45% on the previous year. And already we have some 4,600 odd SMEs involved in our supply chain network.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alors,
Je vais déjà remettre
Well, let me officially hand over this award. First of all, because it's heavy, so I'm actually happy to hand it over to you, sir. And you've really earned it. And a quick word that I would like to add. We've seen a lot of extraordinary things, and I'm sure that so far you've been very impressed about the different things you've seen and heard and these different awards. But there is one small dimension that really makes a difference. And this one, it's that this is a big company, and they've done a great job in working with our suppliers and with our supply chain, with a lot of diversity, inclusion, equality between men and women. They have a great program with their entire supply chain, and with a real focus. And this is why we wanted to give you this award. So thank you very much indeed.
et saluer votre patronne de notre part.
and say hello to your boss for us. We're now turning to the last award, and I will call on Franck Bourgeois, General Manager of SCPU. Please come up and join us. Frank, I was in the backstage. To my knowledge, he's the only boss of a major business school managed by an industrialist, an entrepreneur. So Franck Bourgeois will be calling on Jérôme Barret, the new HR director of Orange since barely 2 months now. Please come and join us. Orange will be awarded this trophy. Congratulations. So you received this award. You, well, not just you, of course, you had to start before this, but you set up an amazing program to prepare your 156,000 people for the digital world, but really fast. Yes, let me say I'm very proud, first of all, to receive this award, an award for the work done by many people at Orange. I'd like to mention one of them, my deputy, Guichet, who was the man behind this great program. This program is largely linked to a corporate strategy. Orange's strategy has consisted in being an operator which is customer-focused. In all our geographies, I hope that Orange is known in France, of course, as a major French group, but also a great international group. Since we have 150,000 people as employees, as you said, we operate on 5 continents, Latin Africa and in Europe. And to build on our customer experience, we know that you must bank on digital. Our products are digital. Our clients are more and more digital. We must support our clients in using digital. And we couldn't avoid seeing to it that our 156,000 employees around the world are also digital. To do this, we started by creating a digital academy, proposing to employees that they could pass their digital passport online, of course. And to date, we have 100,000 employees who have obtained their digital passports in 19 countries. This will continue. Our digital transformation is still ahead of us. Transformation in 2 areas. First of all, by continuing with tools. We'll develop and deploy tools for managing expertise in digital, tools for digital training, accessible via mobile phones, with major programs linked to big data. And not only tools, there's more to digital than that. For a company like Orange, digital is a way to transform its work organization with flatter organizations, horizontal, community work. And this award encourages us, gives us even more energy to drive this transformation and to do what we plan to do so that Orange can become a digital and human employer. Thank you, Jérôme Barret. Hervé, I think you can be proud of the choices made by the jury. They weren't yours, but you chose a great jury and wonderful choices. Yes, it was a tough choice to choose these 6 companies, but I'm very proud to have you amongst us today and to have attributed to you these awards. Congratulations. In just a few moments, I will give the floor to Franck Bourgeois for the second part of this evening event, with the interview of Jeremy Rifkin. But first, we'll take a picture, a group picture. So please stand up, and we will take a group picture to immortalize this first ceremony, which will be followed by many others. Okay, good. So many of us, we absolutely know to show their worth.
Et encore bravo.
Congratulations once again.